other topic I want to touch on is something called the Great Resignation. And in the 1930s, we had something called the Great Depression. 2008, we had the Great Recession, the Great Financial Crisis. 2020, people are calling that the Great Lockdown. 2021, they're calling it the Great Resignation. So I feel like the time frame in which you call these things great is just getting shorter and shorter. So I'm just waiting on the day we get the Great Orange Street Wealth Advisors. Maybe that's imminent. But over here, we just want to share a really quick few charts about labor shortages and wage inflation. More so labor shortages than the latter. But basically, the chart you're seeing right now is representative of the number of US job quits per month. And in August of 2021, 4.3 million people quit their jobs. And that's the highest in recorded history. And if you look at the total quits rates, we do also see the highest in recorded history as well at 2.9%. So I don't know, Blake, why are people quitting their jobs? How is this funneling into wage inflation? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, early on in COVID and up until even of late, you've heard a lot of folks blame labor shortages on, the hand of the government and unemployment and expanded unemployment benefit programs. And as those have kind of been curtailed and clipped off, the data has not reversed course, and folks have not suddenly reversed or returned to the workplace in droves. I do think there's something to be said for certain segments of the economy being impacted by that. But we have to remember, public health crisis, pandemic was real. Folks that worked on the front lines, whether in public health or in hospitality, in mass gatherings and things like that, had a right to stay home and be kept safe. And it's not a simple science to get them all back to work at the same time. But I think more important than that, folks were afforded months, longer than a year potentially, to stay at home, to reassess their lifestyle, to reassess their careers and their education, and really given time to think about what they do to earn a living. And so for a lot of folks, that were maybe close to retirement, it was an ample opportunity to reassess and potentially make that decision. For other folks, it was, they've been contemplating a career change, and this was the moment. They were able to be geographically mobile. The remote workforce was really, birthed and exploded during the COVID era. And so the ability to be able to work from pretty much anywhere makes you much more hireable in a lot of different places. So you're no longer searching for opportunities just in your local geography and proximity. You now can canvass the entire job market, across the nation, across the globe. And so that just leads to a lot of worker mobility. So those are just a couple of factors. For me, I think the biggest one is when I'm talking to young people, especially, well-educated, highly talented, and in demand, if you are requiring them to come into the office 5 days a week, it is a non-starter for a lot of folks. And sure, that's anecdotal, but I hear that from a lot of business leaders. There's an expectation in the workforce today to be able to adapt and offer or support, if not remote work, at least hybrid work.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the power is going back towards the hands of the workers in a way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest thing I took away from what you said was it's not just one cause that's causing all these quits. It's multiple reasons, whether it's early retirements or people that are still worried about COVID, or some people are staying home to take care of the kids. So yeah. I think it's definitely hard to pinpoint whether this is going to be something structural and sustainable moving forward, where we're just going to see a ton of people continuously quit. But definitely no certain cause. So I definitely don't think you can say that this is going to be something that's going to be for sure continuing into the future.